I'll create a new HFY. Humanity. F asterisk 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 yeah. Sci-fi story with 2 parts, each approximately 2,000 words. Let me start by providing you with an outline of the story. Story outline. Part 1. The Discovery. Introduction to the precarious situation humanity finds itself in against the alien threat. Discovery of an ancient human vessel hidden in deep space. Introduction of the main characters and their desperate mission. Exploration of the vessel and discovery of its unique capabilities. Awakening of the ship's AI and revelation of its purpose. First encounter with the alien threat while attempting to activate the ship. Part 2. The Counterstrike. Learning to control the ancient vessel's advanced technology. Formation of a desperate plan to strike back at the alien invaders. The first major battle using the ancient vessel's capabilities. Discovery of the vessel's ultimate weapon system. Final confrontation with the main alien fleet. Aftermath and hope for humanity's future. Now I'll write the full story based on this outline. The Sentinel Legacy. Part 1. The Discovery. The Earth Alliance battlecruiser Defiance limped through the Oort cloud, trailing debris and venting atmosphere from a gaping wound in its port side. Commander Elena Reyes stood on the bridge, her face illuminated by the red emergency lighting, as she studied the tactical display. 3 ships left, just 3 from a fleet that once numbered in the hundreds. Status report, she demanded, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. Lieutenant Commander Takashi Nakamura, her XO, looked up from his console. Hull integrity at 42%. Weapons systems operating at 31% capacity. FTL drive is functional but needs 12 hours to recharge after that last jump. We don't have 12 hours, Reyes muttered. The Harvesters had been relentless in their pursuit since the fall of Mars colony 3 months ago. Humanity was on the brink of extinction, pushed to the very edge of the solar system. Commander, called Dr. Abigail Chen from the science station. I'm detecting an anomalous reading at bearing 227 Mark 43. I've never seen anything like it. Reyes moved to her station, studying the readout. Magnify. The main view screen shifted to show what appeared to be an unremarkable section of space, dotted with asteroids and cosmic debris. I don't see anything, Reyes said. That's just it, Chen replied. According to our sensors, there's a massive object there, but it's somehow out of phase with normal spacetime. Nakamura joined them. A harvester trap. Reyes shook her head. Not their style. They prefer direct assault. Set a course, Captain Wei. Let's check it out. The Defiance approached cautiously, maneuvering through the asteroid field toward the anomalous reading. As they drew closer, the sensors began to register more detailed information. It's artificial, Chen confirmed. Approximately 1.8 kilometers in length. Definitely of human design, but ancient. The metal composition doesn't match anything in our database. A ship? Reyes asked. Out here? Yes, but it predates the Alliance. The design architecture suggests late 22nd century. Nakamura frowned. That's impossible. We didn't have interstellar capabilities until the 23rd century. Apparently we did, Reyes said quietly. Can we dock with it? Chen nodded. The ship appears to be in some kind of temporal stasis. If we can synchronize our phase harmonics with its signature, we might be able to breach the field. 6 hours later, Reyes led a small team through the airlock and onto the mysterious vessel. The corridor beyond was dark and silent, untouched by time. Their helmet lights swept across pristine walls bearing an unfamiliar insignia, a stylized Earth with a sword and shield. Earth Defense Initiative, Dr. Chen read from a nearby plaque. I've never heard of it. Neither have I, Reyes admitted. According to the historical archives, there was no unified Earth military in the 22nd century, just competing national space programs. They moved deeper into the ship, finding it remarkably preserved. No dust, no decay. As if it had been sealed away just yesterday, not centuries ago. "Commander," called Specialist Jackson, the team's engineer, "I think I've found the bridge." A massive circular room spread before them, filled with control stations that looked both familiar and alien. The technology was recognizably human in design, but far more advanced than seemed possible for its era. "Can you get it working?" Rise asked. Jackson studied the main console. "I think so. The systems appear to be in standby mode, not powered down." As Jackson worked, Rise explored the bridge, running her hand along the captain's chair. Who had commanded this vessel? Why was it hidden out here, seemingly forgotten by history? A low hum filled the air as the ship began to wake. Lights flickered on, and holographic displays materialized around them. "Identity verification required," announced a calm female voice, startling the team. A column of light appeared in the center of the bridge, resolving into the figure of a woman in a uniform matching the ship's insignia. "I am HFY, Autonomous Response Intelligence Algorithm of the EDI vessel Sentinel. State your authorization code." Reyes stepped forward. "We don't have an authorization code. I am Commander Elena Reyes of the Earth Alliance. We discovered your vessel by accident while evading an alien force known as the Harvesters." The hologram studied her. Scanning. Earth Alliance not recognized. Temporal displacement detected. Current date verification. 2487 C. Sentinel temporal stasis duration. 312 years. "That's correct," Chen confirmed. "It's the year 2487. Earth and her colonies are under attack. We're losing the war." ARIA processed this information. Emergency protocols activated. In the absence of EDI command structure, leadership defaults to highest-ranking human military officer present. She turned to Reyes. "Commander Reyes, I am at your disposal. What exactly is this ship?" Reyes asked. "Why was it hidden?" "The Sentinel is a prototype temporal displacement vessel designed to serve as humanity's failsafe against extinction-level threats," Ariad explained. "I was programmed to await activation in the event of such a threat." "That's prescient," Nakamura commented. "Not prescience. Preparation," Ariya corrected. "The Sentinel was created in response to a mathematical model predicting a 94% probability of encountering hostile alien intelligence within 5 centuries of human interstellar expansion." "They built you specifically to fight the Harvesters?" Rise asked. "The enemy was not specified, only the probability of conflict. The Sentinel was equipped with technologies deemed too dangerous for conventional deployment." Jackson looked up from the console he'd been examining. "Commander, you need to see this. The weapons systems on this ship, they're unlike anything I've ever seen. Quantum displacement cannons, temporal stasis projectors, gravity manipulation arrays. Can we use them against the Harvesters?" Rise asked. "Theoretically, yes," Ariya responded. "But the Sentinel requires a full systems calibration after extended stasis. Estimated time to combat readiness: 6 hours. Nakamura checked his tactical display. "Commander, we may not have 6 hours. Long-range sensors are detecting Harvester signatures on approach." "They found us." Reyes turned to Ariya. "We need to move now. Can we at least get this ship mobile?" "Propulsion systems can be brought online in 20 minutes, Ariya confirmed. "Defensive capabilities in 45. "Do it," Reyes ordered. "Jackson, help with the propulsion systems. Chen, I need you to understand how this ship works as quickly as possible." As the team rushed to prepare the ancient vessel, Reyes contacted the Defiance. "Captain Wei, we're activating this ship. Have the fleet form up and prepare to engage the Harvesters. We need to buy time." Wei's voice crackled through the comm. "Understood, Commander. But the Resilience is reporting critical systems failure. They took heavy damage in the last engagement." Reyes closed her eyes briefly. Another ship lost. Another crew about to die. "Wait," she said suddenly. "Ariya, does the Sentinel have enough space to accommodate the crews of 3 Alliance vessels?" "Affirmative." The Sentinel was designed to carry a crew of 1,200. Current life support capacity is at 100%. Captain Wei, order immediate evacuation of all Alliance vessels. Transfer all personnel to the Sentinel. As the evacuation proceeded, the first wave of Harvester scouts appeared at the edge of the system. Sleek, obsidian vessels that resembled massive insects, their hulls absorbing light rather than reflecting it. Propulsion online, Jackson announced. Begin evasive maneuvers, Rise ordered. Keep us moving while we complete the evacuation. The Sentinel moved with surprising grace for its size, sliding between asteroids as the last shuttles from the Alliance vessels docked with it. The Harvesters gave chase, their smaller scout ships firing energy weapons that dissipated harmlessly against the Sentinel's shields. Defensive systems at 50% capacity, HFY reported. Minimal damage from enemy weapons. The last shuttle is aboard. Nakamura confirmed. All surviving Alliance personnel accounted for. Reyes nodded grimly. Seal all airlocks. Araya, how long until the weapon systems are online? 90 seconds to minimal weapons functionality. On the tactical display, a new signature appeared, larger than the Scouts. A Harvester destroyer, its central mass surrounded by rotating segments like a deadly flower opening. We can't outrun that, Nakamura warned. We don't need to, Rai said. Araya, target the destroyer with whatever weapons we have available. Target locked. Quantum displacement cannon charging. The destroyer launched its first salvo, a barrage of energy projectiles that streaked toward the Sentinel like angry comets. The ship shuddered under the impact, but held. Cannon charge, Araya announced. Firing. From the bow of the Sentinel, a beam of distorted spacetime lanced out, striking the Harvester destroyer. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then the vessel simply folded in on itself, compressing into nothingness as though it had never existed. Silence fell over the bridge. Target neutralized, Araya confirmed unnecessarily. Reyes stared at the empty space where the destroyer had been. What? What just happened? The quantum displacement cannon alters the target's position in the space-time continuum, Araya explained. In simple terms, it removes the target from our reality. Chen looked up from her console, her expression a mixture of awe and horror. Commander, the remaining Harvester vessels are retreating. They've never retreated before, Nakamura said quietly. Reyes sank into the captain's chair, feeling the weight of the moment. After months of desperate flight, of watching humanity's colonies fall one by one, they finally had a weapon capable of fighting back. Araya, how many more of those cannons can we fire? The Sentinel is equipped with 4 quantum displacement cannons. Power reserves are sufficient for 23 more discharges before requiring regeneration. Reyes nodded slowly. Set a course for the edge of the system. We need time to understand this ship's capabilities, to train the crew. As the Sentinel accelerated away from the debris field, Reyes stared at the unfamiliar stars ahead. For the first time in months, she allowed herself to feel something dangerous. Hope. The counterstrike. 3 weeks had passed since the discovery of the Sentinel. 3 weeks of intense training, of learning the ancient vessel's systems and capabilities. The surviving Alliance personnel had adapted quickly, driven by desperation, and the knowledge that they represented humanity's last, best hope. Elena Reyes stood in the Sentinel's war room, surrounded by her senior staff. A holographic display of the Sol system rotated slowly above the central table, red markers indicating Harvester positions. They've consolidated their forces around Mars, Nakamura observed. The main high ship hasn't moved from lunar orbit in over a week. They're constructing something, Dr. Chen added. Our long-range scans show massive energy signatures consistent with a quantum gate. Reyes studied the display. If they establish a stable gate, they'll bring reinforcements from wherever they came from. We need to strike now. With respect, Commander, Captain Wei interjected. We've only begun to understand the Sentinel's capabilities. The crew is still training. We're out of time. Reyes cut him off. Araya, what's your assessment of our combat readiness? The holographic woman materialized beside the table. The Sentinel is operating at 87% efficiency. Crew proficiency with primary systems is estimated at 73%. This exceeds the minimum threshold for combat operations. And the temporal stasis projector. Have we determined its full capabilities? The projector can create a localized temporal field extending up to 500 kilometers from the Sentinel, Araya explained. Within this field, we can manipulate the flow of time, accelerating, decelerating, or completely halting it for selected targets. Jackson whistled low. No wonder this technology was locked away. The potential for misuse. The potential to save humanity, Reyes corrected. She turned to the tactical display. Here's my plan. We'll approach Earth using the quantum drive, emerging directly behind the lunar shadow. We'll deploy the temporal stasis field, freezing the Harvester High ship and its escorts in place long enough to position ourselves for a clean shot with the displacement cannons. And after? Nakamura asked quietly. We eliminate every Harvester in the system, one by one if necessary. The staff exchanged glances, weighing the boldness of the plan against their limited options. It's high risk, Wei admitted, but I don't see an alternative. Dr. Chen nodded. The quantum gate must be destroyed before it's activated. Then we're agreed, Reyes concluded. Prepare the ship for combat operations. We jump in 6 hours. As the meeting dispersed, Nakamura lingered. Commander, a word. When they were alone, he spoke frankly. The crew is ready to fight, Elena, but they need to know what happens after, if we win. Reyes sighed. We rebuild. We find the scattered human colonies that might have survived. We make sure this never happens again. And the Sentinel. Its technology. I've been thinking about that, she admitted. The people who built this ship hid it away for a reason. This kind of power, maybe it shouldn't exist in peacetime. Nakamura nodded slowly. Perhaps that decision should wait until we have peace to consider. 6 hours later, the Sentinel prepared for its quantum jump. On the bridge, Reyes took her place in the command chair, the crew at their stations around her. All systems green, Jackson reported from engineering. Quantum drive charged and ready. Weapon systems online, Wei confirmed. Displacement cannons primed. Temporal projector calibrated, Chen added. Field parameters set. Reyes took a deep breath. Araya, initiate quantum jump. Jumping in 3, 2, 1. Reality twisted around them, the stars stretching into lines before vanishing altogether. For a heartbeat, they existed everywhere and nowhere. And then, the blue-white curve of Earth filled the view screen, the scared surface of the moon looming close beside them. And there, exactly as predicted, the massive Harvester High ship hung in lunar orbit, surrounded by smaller vessels like worker bees around their queen. We're in position, Nakamura confirmed. No indication they've detected us. Activate temporal stasis field, Reyes ordered. The Sentinel hummed as the projector powered up, sending invisible waves of distorted time-space washing over the Harvester fleet. On the tactical display, the enemy vessels froze, caught in a moment between moments. Stasis field established, Chen reported. Holding stable. We have approximately 3 minutes before field collapse. Target the high ship with all 4 displacement cannons, Reyes commanded. Fire when ready. The Sentinel shuddered as the cannons discharged simultaneously, 4 beams of warp reality converging on the massive Harvester vessel. There was no explosion, no dramatic burst of light, just the sudden absence where something had been. The high ship, along with a spherical section of space around it, simply ceased to exist. Target neutralized, Wei announced, unable to keep the awe from his voice. Remaining Harvester vessels are emerging from stasis, Chen warned. They're reacting to the attack. The smaller ships scattered in apparent confusion, their coordination lost with the destruction of the hive. Some turned toward the Sentinel, weapons charging. Bring us about, Rais ordered, "Target the largest remaining vessels first." The battle that followed was unlike any in human history. The Sentinel moved through the Harvester fleet like an avenging ghost, its temporal field slowing enemies to a crawl while its cannons removed them from existence one by one. Those few Harvester weapons that managed to strike the ancient vessel splashed harmlessly against its advanced shields. "Commander," Jackson called from engineering, "I'm detecting a power surge from the lunar surface. The quantum gate is activating." Rais turned to HFY. "Can we destroy it from here?" "Negative. The gate is protected by the lunar mass. We would need to reposition." "We don't have time," Nakamura warned. "Energy readings suggest activation in less than 2 minutes." Rais made her decision. "HFY, is there another way to disrupt the gate?" The AI's hologram flickered briefly. "The Sentinel possesses one final system, the Concordance Array. It was designed as a last resort against extinction-level threats." "What does it do?" "The array generates an expanding wave of anti-temporal energy. It will permanently disable any technology within its radius and prevent similar technology from functioning within the affected space for approximately 100 years. Will it harm Earth?" Rais demanded. "Negative. The wave affects only advanced technological systems. Biological entities and basic technologies will remain unharmed." "The colonies use quantum technology for life support," Y pointed out. "If we deploy this weapon, we lose our advanced tech, but humanity survives." Rais finished. "HFY, activate the Concordance Array." "Commander, I must inform you that activation will drain all power from the Sentinel's primary systems. The ship will be rendered inoperative." Rais met Nakamura's eyes across the bridge. He nodded slightly. "Do it," she ordered. "Concordance Array charging," HFY announced. "Detonation in 10 seconds." As the countdown proceeded, Rais addressed her crew. "Whatever happens next, remember this moment. Humanity stood on the brink of extinction, and we pulled it back. We survived. Array charge, detonating now." A pulse of energy, invisible yet somehow felt by everyone aboard, emanated from the Sentinel, expanding outward at incredible speed. As it passed through the remaining Harvester vessels, their lights flickered and died, leaving them drifting helplessly in space. On the lunar surface, the half-formed quantum gate collapsed in on itself, its energy dissipating harmlessly into the vacuum. And aboard the Sentinel, systems began to shut down one by one as the massive energy discharge took its toll. "Emergency power activated," HFY reported, her hologram becoming transparent. "Life support stable. All other systems offline." In the sudden silence, Rais looked at the view screen, where Earth shone bright and blue against the darkness. "Send a message to any surviving human outposts," she instructed. Tell them it's over. The Harvesters are defeated." "And after that?" Nakamura asked quietly. Rais gestured toward Earth. "We go home. We rebuild. Without quantum tech, without FTL travel, we start over. Smarter this time. More careful." Dr. Chen approached from her station. "The Sentinel contains historical records from before our time. Knowledge we thought was lost. Knowledge that might help us rebuild." Rais agreed. As the Sentinel drifted silently through space, its mission complete, Alina Rais looked out at the stars. They would need to adapt, to change. The technological setback would be devastating in the short term, but humanity had survived. And perhaps in time, they would understand the wisdom of the ancient builders who had created the Sentinel and hidden it away, not just as a weapon of last resort, but as a reminder that some powers were best left dormant until absolutely necessary. In the soft emergency lighting of the bridge, Rais allowed herself a small smile. There would be time now. Time to heal. Time to grow. Time to become something greater than they had been before. The stars waited, and one day humanity would return to them, wiser, stronger, and prepared for whatever challenges lay ahead.